Welcome, everybody, to the You Should Read About podcast. This is a special edition.
It is.
Usually, the book club podcasts are reserved just for our paying supporters on Substack.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought, because this was such a big moment in time, we would do our Wuthering Heights book and movie review for the masses.
Mm-hmm. All in one.
All in one. And it's for everyone. If you want to get podcast episodes like this every month, then you can come and subscribe. It'll be in the show notes below. But if you become a paid supporter on Substack, you automatically get added to our book club. Abby runs the book club.
It's the cutest book club on the internet. It's global. Like, there's people from everywhere, and the Fable app that we run it on is just so good for a book club.
Because you read the books and it gives you little discussion areas chapter by chapter. So you're never getting spoilers.
No.
And at the end of each chapter, you can go and comment what you think.
And see other people's thoughts.
Yeah. But without spoilers.
Exactly. It's so good.
It's so cute. It's so fun. We would love to have you. So go down to the show notes and you can join the book club. But, Abby, we need to talk about Wuthering Heights.
Yes, so we read Wuthering Heights as our first book of 2026 in anticipation for the movie adaptation that just came out.
And this was the most highly engaged with book club book we've ever done.
Yes.
It was really fun because Abby and I are not the type of girls that would read a classic.
No.
This is like, we brand it kind of as like not your high school essay book club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not going to be talking about themes. We're not really going to be talking about X, Y, Z. We're not going to be reading hard books, like, unless we want to.
Yeah.
But this one really brought us out of that because we did read what is a more challenging book, and you can't read this book without thinking about themes, even though the movie perhaps was created without thinking about themes.
Yes.
But we thought that the way we would run this episode is that we would briefly talk about the book and our review of the book and how you guys felt of the book. And then when it comes to the movie, since we're giving you the context of the book, we would cut it into, it's not that deep, like the parts, the visual world, the costuming, the creative side that we loved from the movie, and then it is that deep, which is where we get to dive into the more kind of clumsy decisions that were made in this film. We get to talk about race and what the elimination of race does to the concept of the film. We also get to speak about why the casting decisions particularly may have not been commented on, and how it would make every film critic's life easier if the director maybe made some comments so that we weren't left wondering.
Or assuming or...
Yes. And so it will be a very big, nuanced episode, and I promise you that probably 90% of the thoughts that you have had, we will discuss. I say this because Abby and I got absolutely slaughtered on the internet this week, which was not nice because if you know us, you knew that we had read the book, you knew that we were going to come and do a deep dive. So we did our immediate and unfiltered thoughts on the movie, which, spoiler alert, when we walked out of the movie as a separate piece of art, we loved it
as
so
a standalone, and that's what we were raving about online.
And
2 steps out of the
people
cinema.
were just so nasty. It was like we had done the casting. It was like, okay, so you two are racist.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely not. And so if you're listening to this and the first half you don't like because you think it's too jovial and fun, stick around for the second half is all I'll say.
Yeah.
Anyway, caveats aside, I cannot stand people calling it Wuthering Heights. It off like, no, it's so stupid. Just read the word.
Wuthering.
Just read the word. I don't know. I'm seeing so many smart people online on the internet. I don't know if it's an American thing where they can't pronounce the word wuthering.
It sounds like they're saying withering sometimes, like with 2 O's, withering.
Wuthering or withering.
Wuthering.
The name is Wuthering Heights. It's spelt how it sounds. Just anyway, that's my first gripe with the reaction.
Yeah.
Abby, shall we start with our thoughts on the book?
Yes. Okay, so first book of 2026, Wuthering Heights for the
Yes.
book club. Everyone was really excited because it's just one of those titles that's like, I want to read it one day, just to know.
Yes.
And
It was your first classic?
My first classic ever. I'm not into older books or the old English.
No.
Just, I can't hack it.
And I'd only read Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
I don't even like period pieces like
neither.
Bridgerton. I can't. It
just doesn't tickle your brain.
Yes.
And I hated Jane Eyre, and I never thought that I would read a classic either. But we read it.
Yes, we did. I found out that it's one of Bella and Edward's favourite books that is mentioned throughout the Twilight series. I don't remember because I haven't read that since I was like 10.
Yeah.
But it's really funny that it's one of their favourite books.
Everything comes back to Twilight.
Everything does. Twilight is like the base of all society.
Oh, I'm obsessed with that. Okay. Don't entirely agree. But if society was filled with, actually it is filled with like blood-sucking leeches. Just turns out they are the presidents of the United States, etc.
Exactly.
Anyway, what do you think of it?
I found it boring.
Yes.
It was just a bunch of people being grumpy with each other, like families being grumpy with each other and visiting each other's houses. Like that was it the whole way.
That meme that's like Wuthering Heights is just people going from one house to another.
It is.
I didn't find it boring, weirdly, because Abby knows that I find a lot of things in real life and like I find boring really easy.
Yeah.
The reason I think I didn't find it boring is because Abby likes fantasy books and I cannot stand fantasy. Love the people that love them, love women enjoying things. However, because this was set in such a different time period for me, it felt like a fantasy book for me. Like it transported me to that time.
And the world building of the moors, the windy moors.
Yeah.
And
so like I think what you get from fantasy,
you got from
I got
Wuthering
from
Heights.
this because I'm not used to like world building in that way. I mostly read character-driven books. And yes, this is definitely a character-driven book. But, okay, the life hack was the first 3 chapters are boring.
From Lockwood's perspective.
Until it gets to Nellie. Who was done dirty in the movie, can I just say?
know.
Nellie got given a villain arc. What?
But she was easier to understand in the book. Lockwood had a really intense Old English, like the way he'd say a paragraph.
And I was like, girl, you could have used 5
And then I had to SparkNote. Like, what? I missed that.
SparkNotes was your best friend.
It was. I used it for every chapter because I'm just not the type of person who, if I have to do any work to understand the book, I just don't. I'm reading for entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's not entertaining for me to have to Google things all the time.
Yeah. I think
so. It just takes out the like,
it takes you out of the story.
It takes me out of the story to have to go and Google what did this chapter mean.
I didn't use SparkNotes at all.
That's amazing.
Well, I really like, and so I read this in 2 or 3 days while I was camping, and I used Fable as my, like, I think I was the first one to read it and finish it in Fable. And so I did, like, at the end of every chapter, I forced myself to write a little note in Fable to be like, this is what happened.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I did that to force me to think about what happened without outsourcing it. Because usually if I wasn't camping or whatever and I was at my computer, I'd be like, what'd this mean? Blah, 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 looking at TikToks.
Yes.
This time I forced myself to like consider what it meant. And it was like there were things that happened in the book, like she got pregnant, but we didn't find out until like one little sentence at the end of a chapter. And it was all very, like I found it gripping, but I could see how you'd get taken out of the book.
Yes.
If, like, you have to dedicate time to
Yes,
this.
I found that I was having to pick it up for long haul, like couple hours at least, to be able to like dive back into the story instead of just like picking it up for half an hour. I couldn't do it. Like I had to really set aside time to start to enjoy it.
Which I think is like really respectable of Emily Brontë. Like even though, I mean, Emily Brontë, tragic that this was her one novel.
I know.
And like so much good art didn't get seen for what it was in its time. This was like ahead of its time in like almost every aspect. But like the fact that she wrote a book that requires you it's not like frivolous. You can't just pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down. It like requires you to sit and think with it.
Yeah.
And for the themes like racism, classism, abuse, it is like you do need to be sitting down with it and thinking about it for a long, like this type of art. And I think it's probably why the movie fell flat for book purists is like, it should take you a long time to read this book because the themes require a long time for you to sit with them. Whereas the movie, it had to like cut out, well, I don't know if it had to, it cut out a lot of the themes because you only have 1 hour and a half to make sense of it. Yes. Whereas with the book, you have so much time. Again, we'll get into that later. I was really proud of the book club and of us actually for like sitting with the book, completing it, and the book club loved it.
They did. It got such good reviews. Like we have on Fable, there's like a end review that you get to rate it out of 5 stars and give your honest review. Yes. So you don't see it till you finish the book. And everyone raved about it. It was so cute. It
was my favourite month. Even though this wasn't my favourite book we've ever read for book club, it was my favourite month on book club.
Yes, I think because everyone was so engaged.
Yeah, and then Ruby, who loves period pieces, who loves stuff like this, I knew that she would love this book so much. You guys all know Ruby. She used to run the book club with us. She used to run Siska with me. She's an OG. You know her. She read it in 2 days. She read it in a weekend, and me and Abby were like I did that, but because I was camping, I had nothing else to do, and I had the book club.
Off the grid.
Yeah. She did it just because she wanted to. And she loved it.
She's in her reading era. She's like reading nonstop at the moment.
And this is like really her perfect.
Yes.
Book. So for some people, I can see how it was so beloved. Mm-hmm. And in saying that, I can see how if you're that much of a book purist, you can think that the film bastardized the book.
Yeah.
Which brings us, I think, to our movie review. Now, everyone, we're starting with It's Not That Deep. This is our non-deep thoughts.
Yes.
And then, before you get angry, we are going to move into It Is That Deep. Okay. So, maybe if you're a book purist, skip to the It Is That Deep because you're just going to get angry at us for no reason. And I actually don't like being bullied on the internet. Like, I do so much good stuff on there. Just don't bully me for that. Abby, how was the movie for you? Unfiltered initial reactions.
My initial reaction, I remember 10 minutes in, I was like, I haven't felt this way about a movie since Twilight, which is like my whole young teenage life was Twilight. So it's like the feelings, the yearning was so intense for me. I loved it so much. It was toxic, but it was so intoxicating. I loved it.
Yes, toxic but intoxicating is perfect. Before we get into all of our thoughts, we got out of the movie theaters and Abby was like, I'd never seen her.
Feral.
Like feral.
Like a teenage, I felt like a teenage girl.
Yeah. And so without her knowing, which is why I sound so weird because it's like I was interviewing her, I recorded Abby's reaction. And when we walked out of the
so
cinema.
Embarrassing.
And we're going to play it for you.
She can't even. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
This is Abby.
And I'm really sorry.
Reactions.
Oh, she's so embarrassed.
What is it that makes us feel sick?
It's like my heart the whole time was pumping. Like I'm not even kidding. I'd sit there and go, am I having palpitations? Why? Because I was just so obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with Margot Robbie.
Were you horny?
Some bits, but like it was the yearning. The yearning hurt. It hurt. It's the way you felt about how you had a rivalry after.
Yes, the depth of sadness.
I'm so ill with sadness. Holy f***. I loved it. I recorded that.
I'm sorry.
I forgot about her rivalry.
No, yeah.
I couldn't even talk.
So she said, it's the way you felt about heated rivalry, but she said, it's the way you felt about her rivalry.
Her rivalry. I'm actually crying. That is so
embarrassing. That is
It's not embarrassing.
Oh,
it was just me going,
I'm
what of that?
exposed.
It was so, no, it's because, and mind you, everyone, we'd already been talking for about 3 minutes about how much we loved it. And then like 3 minutes and I was like, she's not going to stop. I should start recording. And so that's as unfiltered as it gets.
Yeah.
It was just, I thought it was going to be good because I loved Saltburn and I loved Promising Young Women.
Same.
It was better than I expected in terms of we went into it having just read the book and knowing that we were going to separate the book from the movie.
Yeah.
So I think we went into it with the right idea.
Yes.
We knew what to expect.
Yeah.
We took it for what it was and we loved it.
And I think because I found the book was boring and I went into, when I first heard of Wuthering Heights, like I've always thought it was a romance. It's this misconception it's always had that people think it's a romance. Read the book, it's not a romance at all. It's a gothic novel. It's dark and toxic. And I think the movie was like the ideal scenario of what I would want from Wuthering Heights.
Yes,
of like
when you're
it was a different parallel universe.
like before you'd read it,
yes,
this is what you imagined it to be.
like I was like, oh my God, Wuthering Heights, that romance that everyone talks about, Cathy and Heathcliff.
Yeah.
But then I read it, I was like, oh no,
not
that's
romance.
absolutely not
they
what
barely
it is.
fuck. Do they even
Not in the
sleep
book.
together in the book?
No.
No. Whereas the movie
is all about their romance, like this literal parallel universe.
which is why people are saying, had this been given a different name,
I know, which is weird.
They would
Everyone are
love
really,
it. But
they're
I was
really
like-
caught up on that.
well, can we not, can your brain not just, acknowledge that this is like a parallel universe sort of
And
adaptation?
The book is 179 years old and it has 7 adaptations already.
And only one of them cast Heathcliff properly.
The 2011 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting because this is copping a lot of flack, obviously, for that casting and for good reason. But it's so interesting that only one other cast it properly.
Yeah.
And also, oh my God, I've got so many thoughts. No, I want to
know.
save this thought. I have some thoughts about why the miscasting of Heathcliff in this movie could actually be beneficial to the art itself, the book itself, like getting more people to read it and care about classism and see the other adaptations.
Right.
I have a bit of a devil's advocate thing to say that I'm going to say in our It Is That Deep section of this. Abby, I saw people saying that this was like a fan fiction with a big budget.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I think that's a good way to put it too, because it is like if a fan fiction was written of Wuthering Heights, a transformative fan fiction, which is where you take the characters and you make them live whole different lives.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like to me. And maybe because I know about fandom and fan fiction, I know about what transformative fan fiction is, I could see it as that as I was watching, being like, this is not the book, but this is like someone's transformative work.
Yes.
And that is where I understand the quotation marks of Wuthering Heights.
I thought the quotation marks were so clever.
Yeah.
Like a way to be like, this, by the way, this is not Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
This is a creative adaptation.
Yeah. I mean, I loved the acting. People are saying that Margot Robbie was too old. I'm seeing like this really, I don't know, just like
woman can't age.
Yeah, I have been seeing some really like unfeminist takes towards Robbie and Emerald.
Yeah.
Like some really like what's it called? Revisionist history, where people are deciding they hated all Emerald's other works.
because I remember Promising Young Woman and Saltburn, the hype, the positive feedback, like how unreal those movies were. I've never seen anyone talk bad about them until this Wuthering Heights has come out, and suddenly they're like, her whole
everything she's ever made
everything
was
so bad.
Was unfeminist. It was like, okay, we are allowed to critique someone's work without going and revising history and being like, we've always hated this woman.
Yeah.
She ruins everything. She bastardizes everything. It's like being really nasty.
Yeah.
And like uncalled for. It's very like internet vibes, very internety. A few more things that I wanted to say in the It's Not That Deep section. What is with this new form of like advertising where they make it seem like the cast members are on the press tour. Like it's been recent, but it's been the last few years.
It has.
Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. You remember what is it? Anyone But You.
Yeah.
Do you remember Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac?
No, what movie was that for?
I can't remember the movie, but I remember on the press tour. So both of them, I think, have partners, respectively. And he, like, kisses her, like, neck, kind of very intimate stuff on the red carpet for stuff. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that was a huge one.
It was just, and now Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, like the sort of flirty, playful banter. It's like
all the interviews. It's like an act that they keep up behind the scenes.
It's like this new phenomenon of pretending that cast members are together to sell the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I don't hate it.
But it's like, it feels like, first of all, their partners, what do they always say, are the strongest soldiers. But also I'm like, you don't need to do this if, like, we're smart. I feel like the audiences don't get taken seriously when it's like, oh, so you're trying to pretend that you're together, so we go and watch this movie where you're pretending you're together.
Yeah.
Like, we can just respect you as actors and actresses without pretending that you're together and making that the story.
Yes. But I would never, like, I never used to watch celebrity interviews or actors' interviews or what are they called?
Like press junkets.
Yeah, press junkets. I would never watch them. I feel like this has become a new form of content.
Yeah.
That really boosts the movie and gets people talking.
I know.
I think it's working and I kind of froth it.
Like, and I think it's
works.
bad for intellectualism because I think these artists or actors or whatever or director want to be asked like smart questions. Like imagine being a celebrity, and because I'm someone, I have a different view on this because I do interview celebrities at this point, and I would never go into one and like try to get the moment of them being flirty. I would rather be like, what are you sick of being asked? What was like something that actually takes them seriously as a person?
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's good for content, it's good for numbers, but like the whole world should not, it's like not good for the world for everything to just be about boosting numbers and content. I like to watch it too, but actually, no, I don't like to watch it. I can't watch it. It gives me too much of it because I don't like romance.
A lot of people have been saying that.
Yeah, and because you'll send me stuff, I can't even bring myself to watch it because I'm like, either I feel too much or I feel too icky about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a new phenomenon that I think is so random and I don't love it.
Please, you guys listening, let us know your thoughts because it's so new.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people have commented on it.
Yeah.
They've just like noticed it, but I want to know your opinion.
Yes, me too. Because it does make for really good press.
Yeah, it does. It works. Like it makes the whole lead up to the movie so much longer and bigger and more hype.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it helped me with the yearning part of the movie.
Of course it did. Think about Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell's one.
Yeah, then that was a movie.
Yeah, and it's like, it was almost like duping people into it, but it's like they had to put their pride, they definitely put their pride aside and played into it.
That was like people were assuming he was cheating on his partner.
She was cheating on. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I don't really like it.
Yeah.
But just quickly, some major changes from the book to the movie. Nellie got given a villain arc.
Which was so interesting.
Like, and because of the way the movie was shortened, I think they needed to do it to like move the plot along. But so Nellie was like seen as the one sort of sabotaging Heathcliff and Cathy.
Yes.
I can't remember if she sabotaged them in the book, but just less obviously.
I don't think she did. I don't think she had any part in their relationship, which is funny because when you read the book, we're just trusting Nellie. It's from her point of view.
That's what
so
I
we're
was
trusting the whole story from Nellie's point of view, watching them as the housemaid.
Unreliable narrator.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
And then we watch the movie and it's like she could have been doing it in the book. She could have been doing it.
Because the movie's not from Nellie's point of view.
No.
So we can see her as more of a like Eye of God vibe. Like we're just seeing all of it happening.
And her having little parts in how their relationship played out.
So that was really interesting. Also, Cathy in the book dies giving birth.
Yes.
So there's a child, but in the movie she dies of a miscarriage.
Yes.
or she miscarries.
And or a broken heart.
And or a broken heart if you're a professional yearner. What else? Oh, Hindley. So Cathy's brother. It never appears in the movie. It's alluded to that he died, but he is quite a feature in the book. And then obviously the casting for the movie is just deeply incorrect. And with that,
I'm going to deep it.
We should deep it.
It is that deep.
It is that deep. I need Emerald Fennell, we're just going to call her Emerald, to comment.
She needs to be transparent. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's like, first of all, Jacob Elordi commented on it on a red carpet. First, for one, I'm really proud of that interviewer for asking the question that like everyone's been told not to ask them in the press junkets or whatever, or they've been too scared to.
Yeah.
He gave a really bad answer.
He did.
He gave a really wish-washy answer. Abby sent it to me. I said, that is a response. So one thing I really hate is when, so say you're a fan of a book and then the author does something really bad and then the whole internet comes for the fans being like, you are obviously transphobic because you love this book, blah, blah, blah. And I hate when the fans get taken, like when the anger gets taken out on the fans.
Yeah, because they're more accessible to people instead of
the person that did the bad thing.
Yeah.
So like this happened with the 1975 when Maddie Healy said things, everyone came for the fans being like, can't believe you like that, you're obviously racist, you're obviously this, you're obviously that. That's not the case. Like just because you're a fan of someone that does something bad doesn't mean you also do all those bad things.
Yeah.
I feel like that shouldn't even have to be said, but I've seen it so much with this movie.
Yeah, it's been like people fighting
in
social media comments on anything to do with Wuthering Heights.
It's
fighting each other.
Yeah, fighting each other. It's been really, really nasty. But that is why I think it is Emerald's job to come out and say why she cast this film as she cast the film.
Because there is no reason that makes sense for her to cast a white guy as Heathcliff.
Absolutely not. And like, surely she knew that the whole discussion was going to be taken over with this. Like, racism and class due to Heathcliff's race is like the point of the book.
Yeah.
And there are such amazing people like that could have been cast in this. I don't know if it was like her fantasy, like if she
Well, she said it was like she made this on the base of her 14-year-old self reading Wuthering Heights and what she envisioned.
Yeah.
But then that kind of just outs her as being like, I saw Heathcliff as a white man and I ignored all of the trauma that he goes through as a brown man in the book.
Exactly.
And I would rather see a white man. Or
the whole reason that he was at the house is because like Cathy's father grabbed him from the street and like, but I mean, we don't really know, but I think that's because he was like a little brown boy getting mistreated on the street. So it's like, the whole premise of the movie beginning and bringing Heathcliff home doesn't make sense.
And he's treated as other in the family house.
Yes.
He's treated as like a servant for working on the property while the
he's
other
treated
kids,
as a second-class
the
citizen.
white kids in the house are they're allowed to be kids.
Yeah. So it makes no sense. The movie would not have suffered by casting it correctly.
No.
It's just, I would just love for her to comment on it so that people on the internet aren't having to answer for Emerald's decision.
Yes.
I don't like when that happens.
Or
assuming. Because assuming makes an ass out of you and me. So, first of all, the movie would have not suffered. It would have been better. It probably. Okay, and here's my devil's advocate take. Well, it's actually not devil's advocate. It's kind of like angel's advocate. It is amazing. 10 years ago, this casting may not have even rocked the boat. Like, people would have just watched the movie and said it was a good movie, whatever. Now, we care so much about representation that the fact that this has made a big stir gives me faith in society, that it's like we want to see these people represented properly on screen. We've had the whole last 100 years to have white people on the screen. Mm-hmm. Now everyone wants to see these people cast properly and give jobs to people that are, like we want, if there's a disabled character, we want you to hire someone disabled. There's a gay character, hire someone gay. Mm-hmm. There is a black or brown character, hire someone black or brown. The fact that the whole world is kind of in a state of uproar over this is actually a good thing, because we will no longer just stand for inappropriate casting or cutting people out of jobs that they deserve just because it was your fantasy or whatever. So I think that it's like really heartening to see that the world cares that much. Yeah. Because, a few years ago, the world wouldn't have cared that much. My second thing is, if you're a book purist and you hate this movie so much, maybe you should reframe it in your mind and be so happy that so many people are now reading the original book because of this movie. This movie, if everyone's saying it's so wrong, I saw that there was a 4,000% increase in copies of the book being bought this January compared to last January.
That's amazing.
So it's like amazing if you're a book purist that like this movie, if people hated it or if people are like it's so different from the book, go read the book. They actually are.
Yeah, they are.
So it's kind of a good thing that people are hating the movie so much if you want them to go and read the book.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing that it was cast incorrectly. It's a good thing that more people are reading.
Conversation.
And it's also caused a lot more people to go and watch that earlier adaptation that was correct.
Yes.
So
I'm going to go, I'm watching it next. I'm so excited to see it.
Me too.
It looks really good. It's a like exact adaptation, which was not this one.
Yeah. We also should mention another thing with the movie is that like the whole second half of the book was cut out. Which it could have been a like Wicked Part 1 and Wicked Part 2 scenario, but I don't think that would have worked either.
No.
So, yes, I think there are some ways to reframe it to be like more people are engaging with the original art and more people are caring about who we cast in these things than ever before. And it should show future directors and casting people that like you got to do it properly.
Don't make these lazy decisions.
No. Or like I don't even know if this would have been a lazy decision. I think she would have thought about it a lot.
Which is just weird because it just feels like she's used, like people have said, which I find funny, White Boy of the Month as the main character to boost the movie instead of having people that are in the book that make the story what it is.
Be represented in the film. Yes. So it is such a choice. I need her to comment on it. I don't think she ever will.
I don't think she will, which is really disappointing.
Because you know how artists can be like pretentious about their vision? I wonder if this is a like, I shouldn't have to explain my vision, or like what I've explained is enough. It's not enough. In this, unfortunately, as much as I hate this day and age for bullying online, etc., there comes a point where your explanation that you've given is not enough and people will probably I don't know if they'll love the movie more. It's kind of like been done. It's too late. She should comment on it. I saw another take that I wanted to get your opinion on. And I think because I like to think about things critically, I can also see how this is a really interesting take and I agree with it as well as everything else we've said on this pod. But this movie, and I don't know if this was an intention, again, because Emerald won't comment on it, but it is kind of holding a mirror up to society, which is what art should do, in the way that it is showing us that we, above everything, especially in the era that we live in now, we put looks and aesthetic over everything.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of like, if you want to give Emerald a really positive read on like she wanted us to notice this, like casting the most beautiful people in these modern outfits with a Charlie XCX soundtrack, blah, blah, blah. It's showing us that we care about aesthetics more than we care about themes and injustice. And because I'm wondering, and I'll never have data to prove this, like if you put the two films, the correctly adapted film that was the whole book in a film, it cast perfectly with a like old time soundtrack, blah, 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 versus Emerald's film, which was glitzy and glamoury and hot and sexy and sensual and had a Charlie XCX soundtrack, what one's going to get more views and what one's going to get more people engaging with it?
Exactly.
So I thought that was such an interesting take.
It is.
Because I wonder, it does show us the worst parts of society, which is like everyone wants to be skinny, everyone wants to be hot, everyone wants to have their face injected, everyone wants to look like Margot Robbie, they want to look like Jacob Elordi. It's like she's showing us what we have proven over the last 100 years to want.
Yes, and guilty, I'm eating it up.
We're eating it up.
It truly is what's working.
Yes. Some people want to engage with critical text, and we are seeing that community is quite loud, which is really good. We want to engage with critical text. The box office, like I think, you've seen how well Barbie did and stuff like that. But then you also saw how well Oppenheimer did. So, I don't know. It's just, I thought that was a really interesting take. Like, are we just being reflected back?
Yes.
What we ask for time and time again, like what we are consuming on TikTok is all that like beauty content and it's like people that on TikTok, they literally have rules in their back end that got leaked that it's like if someone is ugly or overweight or whatever, not aesthetically pleasing, their videos will not get boosted.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, this kind of is a reflection of society. And that is a very generous reading to say that Emerald Fennell wanted that or aimed for that. But it's, I
saw an article, I'm not sure who it was from, but they said this is a smooth brain movie, which is such a good way to put it. It's not an intellectual movie.
It's not
at all.
To analyse. It is not an intellectual
There's
movie.
nothing to analyse. It's like all
compared to the book, when you're having to go to SparkNotes to even understand the book, this movie is for those that don't want to think.
Yeah. Which I love having the balance of entertainment of some intellectual movies.
Yeah.
But then a smooth brain movie to me is just so nice
and it was fun
as an escape. Yeah.
We had fun. It was for the girlies. Like it was like but the good thing is we had read the book, so we had knowledge of what should have been there.
Yes.
And so which means we could analyse it. We could enjoy it in the moment and analyse it later, which is like the best combo, I think. One other thing I wanted to bring up that I'd been seeing a bit was that we spoke about the revisionist history and people realising, oh, I hated her all along, blah, 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 which wasn't the case. That male directors often do not stick to the source material and don't get as much criticism as
I've never seen criticism like this before for an adaptation.
I know.
The whole point of an adaptation is to adapt it to how the director wants it. Like their own creative visionary, different from the OG source.
Yeah. And it's okay to not like it, but it is an adaptation. And so like the closest thing, I've seen a lot of people drawing comparisons between male directors, and I'm not a big movie buff and I don't watch a lot of like classic movies. I don't watch a lot of movies that have been adapted and good adaptations, but the closest person I could sort of think of was Baz Luhrmann and how he did The Great Gatsby.
Yes.
And like The Great Gatsby was this glitzy, glamorous, beautifully cast.
With an insane soundtrack as well.
Insane soundtrack. And to be fair, that was closer to the source material in terms of the casting was closer to everyone that was written in the book. But that's because the book was written, like it wasn't trying to tackle racism. The book just was like of its time focusing on these rich white people, right? But it was still like this extravagant, beautiful
modern
adaptation of that. And then he also did Romeo and Juliet, one of the most classic books of all time. Again, he put his own spin on it. He made it glitzy and glamorous. And because these were released years ago, I wonder if they were released now, if they'd been met with the same types of criticism. or not, but I can't help. It's worth thinking about. It's definitely worth thinking about whether we see men who are much more famous and well-known in these film spaces, whether we see the same type of criticism levied towards men and men's interests. And I don't want to I don't want to make a ruling on that because I haven't seen a lot of the adaptations that are done by men. And my algorithms obviously have not served me criticisms.
And they would have came out when social media wasn't so big and part of everything we do.
Yeah. But I think it's worth us thinking about because I have seen some really anti-feminist things.
Really insane.
Yeah. And really mean.
Like really bringing in that she's a woman to the conversation.
And that everything she's ever made has obviously been when that's just you're allowed to hold so many things to be true and you can like Promising Young Woman and not like what she's done with Wuthering Heights. Like you don't have to go back and be like, oh, that was always bad.
She's been the worst always.
And she bastardizes everything and she's my number one villain. She's my main enemy. I've been saying stuff like that and I was like, guys, this is not good.
Yeah.
It's not kind and it's not helping the case.
No.
It worsens the actual problem, which is that Heathcliff was miscast and that the only people of colour that were cast in the film were actually the second tier characters, etc.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You saying that she's a woman, you've hated all her other and she ruins everything is discrediting those very real soft comments. Yeah. So everyone, that is our deep and not deep take on Wuthering Heights as two girls that loved the movie and that read the book and dissected the book with 700 other people. And you are allowed to disagree with us. That is more than welcome and we like seeing other points of view, but you are not allowed to be mean to us. I turned the comments off on that post because this is a platform that I run that does so much good work. And it breaks my heart and it makes me really angry when one thing people are like, I don't agree with you, this discredits everything else you've done for the last 8 years.
That's what they were in the DMs saying, this has tipped me over the edge. I've loved everything you've done except for this, so I'm unfollowing.
Yeah.
And all it was is we hadn't talked about the race, the casting issue yet. We were going to.
And people knew because we'd had a video down on the feed where we had spoken about it and it's just, that is not allowed. And as the little tiny control that I have on these platforms like Instagram and Facebook and whatever is that I can turn off the comments. And if you're being nasty and literally coming and being a bully when I give you all this other stuff for free that's good and helping you learn and blah, 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 I'm going to turn off the comments. And if you want to unfollow because of that, please do because I don't want bullies following.
I hope they listen to the podcast because we told them there is a podcast review coming where we actually deep it. I hope that they have. And if you are here, let us know.
Thank you for listening.
Tell us your thoughts now that we've actually deeped it and
don't be mean on Instagram, please, because no wars ever got solved in a comment section.
Yeah.
I always say that. Anyway.
And I've been saying
I feel like that teacher that's talking to the minority. You know, when the teacher's and it's not most of you, but for those of you that are stealing Timmy's lunch, it's not good. I feel like that teacher, but there is no place for bullying on you should care about. And so it's so funny. I'll turn the comments off and then all these other good posts, people are coming and being like, yeah, but you're racist. It's oh my God.
Yeah.
The internet. It's like a smooth brain internet sometimes. Anyway, if you have liked this conversation and you want to be able to hear these conversations every month and you want to be able to read along with us every month for all the books we do, we sometimes do old books, they're not always new releases.
We have polls
you get to pick
every month where you get to pick out of 2 options of what we read.
We do everything. We do fiction, we do fantasy, we do memoir.
Gothic novels.
Gothic novels, apparently. So come and join the book club. The link is in the show notes. We have loved being able to come on here and deep this movie.
This is a really good book and movie combo to get to deep dive into.
So come and see us in the book club. Bye, everyone.
Bye.